They say power is loud. That influence comes from the loudest voice in the room. But what if that's a lie? A carefully constructed myth to distract you from where the real power lies? The most dangerous people aren't the ones who shout. They're the quiet ones, the observers, the ones who move in the shadows, pulling strings you never even knew existed. This isn't about being seen. It's about shaping reality without leaving a trace. We're about to pull back the curtain on a hidden world, a world governed by a set of unwritten rules, 9 shadow tactics used by the smartest people to gain silent control. These are the secrets Machiavelli believed could turn anyone from a pawn into a kingmaker. But be warned, once you see these patterns, you can't unsee them. You will start noticing them everywhere in your office, among your friends, even in your own family. The question is, what will you do with this knowledge? First, you must understand the foundation of all shadow power. Machiavelli wasn't just a political theorist. He was a master psychologist who understood a fundamental human weakness. We are distracted by noise. True influence, he argued, is a game of perception, timing, and silence. It's not about force or fame or charisma. It's about quiet, calculated moves that shift the entire room without anyone noticing until it's far too late. The people who master this art don't need to announce their arrival. Their presence is felt, not heard. They rise quietly, without the usual chaos or bragging, gaining authority while others are busy competing for the spotlight. They operate on a different frequency, one that most people are completely deaf to. This is the world of soft power and silent influence. And the first rule is the most important. You must become a ghost in your own plans. This brings us to the first shadow tactic, the tactic of masked intent. Never reveal your true plans. Think of your ambition as a precious, fragile flame. The moment you expose it to the open air, the winds of jealousy, sabotage, and doubt will try to extinguish it. People cannot attack what they do not see. They cannot undermine a goal they do not understand. The master of this tactic moves with a smile, offering vague explanations and pleasant misdirections. While others are debating their public declarations, the shadow player is already 3 moves ahead, laying the groundwork in secret. They let others believe they want one thing, while their real objective remains hidden in plain sight. This isn't about lying. It's about strategic concealment. It's about protecting your vision until it's too strong to be stopped. But how do you know what others are planning? How do you see their intent while hiding your own? The answer lies in the second, and perhaps most powerful tactic, the tactic of strategic silence. In a world drowning in noise, silence is a weapon. When you are silent, you create a vacuum. And human nature abhors a vacuum. People will rush to fill it with their own thoughts, their fears, their plans. They will reveal themselves completely, without you having to ask a single question. The person who speaks less observes more. They are not just listening to words. They are watching for the flicker in the eye, the slight hesitation, the forced smile. They are collecting data. While others are busy broadcasting their opinions, the silent player is mapping the emotional and psychological landscape of the room. They learn who is trustworthy, who is a threat, and who is an unwitting pawn. This silence makes them appear calm, wise, and in control, drawing people to them. But this control isn't just about observation. It's about actively shaping how you are seen. This leads us to the third shadow tactic, the tactic of controlled reputation. Your reputation is not who you are. It is who people think you are, and that perception is a tool. The smart player understands this and lets others believe what benefits them. They never rush to correct a misconception that serves their long-term goals. For example, if people underestimate them, they allow it. An underestimated opponent faces no resistance. If people mistakenly think they are aligned with a powerful figure, they don't deny it. The illusion of borrowed power can be just as effective as the real thing. They are sculptors of perception, carefully curating the stories and rumors that swirl around them. They feed certain narratives and starve others, ensuring that their public image is a carefully constructed asset. It's a mask they wear, one that disarms their rivals and attracts their allies. But a reputation is useless without the right connections. And this is where the fourth tactic comes into play, the tactic of calculated alliances. Power is not a solitary pursuit. It grows through connections. But the shadow player knows that not all connections are equal. They don't seek a large network. They seek a strategic one. It's not about having many friends. It's about having useful ones. Each alliance is a calculated investment. They identify individuals who possess resources, knowledge, or influence that they lack, and they cultivate those relationships with precision. They offer loyalty and support, making themselves indispensable. They understand that the right alliance can open doors that were sealed shut, provide cover during a crisis, or deliver a fatal blow to a competitor. These alliances are built quietly, often away from public view, forming an invisible web of support that can be activated at a moment's notice. They create a fortress of favor zone, ensuring they are never left standing alone. With a controlled reputation and powerful allies, the stage is set for the fifth and most subtle tactic, the tactic of invisible influence. This is the art of steering decisions without ever appearing to be in charge. The invisible influencer doesn't make grand proposals in meetings. Instead, days before, they plant an idea in a casual conversation with a key decision maker. They guide discussions with carefully worded questions. They nudge outcomes by selectively highlighting certain data. By the time the final decision is made, everyone believes it was their own idea. The invisible influencer takes no credit. They don't need to. Their victory isn't public applause. It's the quiet satisfaction of knowing they shaped the result. They become the hidden architect of success, their influence felt everywhere but seen nowhere. This allows them to maintain their neutrality and avoid making enemies, accumulating power without accumulating targets on their back. But power isn't just about influencing decisions. It's about managing people. This brings us to the sixth and perhaps most chilling tactic, the tactic of selective compassion. Empathy is not just a virtue, it's a currency. The shadow player dispenses it with strategic precision. They show deep, genuine empathy when it builds unbreakable loyalty. A kind word during a crisis. A helping hand when someone is struggling. These acts are never forgotten. They create a bond that goes deeper than professional obligation. But they also know when to withdraw it. When discipline is needed, when a hard line must be drawn, their compassion vanishes. This sudden shift creates an unsettling emotional imbalance. It makes their approval feel scarce and valuable. People become desperate to regain their favor, to get back to the warmth of their empathy. This calculated use of emotion keeps their team motivated, disciplined, and utterly devoted. It's a masterful manipulation of the human need for connection and validation. Now we enter the realm of psychological warfare with the seventh tactic, the tactic of predictable chaos. To control people, you must be a source of both stability and fear. The master of this tactic is reliable 90% of the time. They are consistent, dependable, a rock for everyone around them. This builds trust and makes people feel secure. But that final 10% is reserved for pure unpredictability. A sudden burst of anger over a small mistake. An unexpected act of extreme generosity. A decision that goes against all logic. This calculated chaos keeps everyone on edge. It prevents them from becoming complacent. People start to fear losing the approval of the 90% reliable person they depend on. This blend of stability and unpredictability makes them magnetic and terrifying at the same time. It's a quiet, constant reminder of who holds the real power. But how do they know when to be predictable and when to be chaotic? The answer lies in the eighth tactic, the tactic of long memory. The shadow player forgets nothing. Every promise kept, every slight, every casual comment, every hidden motive, it is all filed away in a mental archive. They are historians of human behavior. They don't just see the present, they see the patterns that stretch back for years. By remembering past behaviors, they can accurately predict future actions. They use small details from a conversation 6 months ago to read a person has true intentions today. This long memory gives them an almost supernatural ability to understand people. While others operate on gut feelings and recent events, the shadow player operates on a deep, data-driven understanding of the people around them. This knowledge allows them to anticipate betrayals, leverage old debts, and speak directly to a person's deepest insecurities and desires. Their memory is their library of leverage. Finally, we arrive at the ninth and ultimate shadow tactic, the one that ties them all together, the tactic of delayed response. In any confrontation, in any negotiation, in any crisis, the first reaction is almost always the wrong one. It is an emotional reaction, driven by ego, fear, or anger. The shadow player knows this. They never react immediately. When insulted, they pause. When challenged, they reflect. When praised, they observe. This delay does two things. First, it allows their own emotions to subside, enabling them to choose a response that is strategic, not emotional. Second, it unnerves their opponent. The silence creates tension, forcing the other person to wonder, to second guess, to reveal more of their hand. The one who responds last controls the narrative. They get to frame the situation, define the terms, and direct the outcome. The delayed response is the final checkmate, a declaration of total emotional and strategic control. So why do these tactics matter today in our modern world? Because influence is no longer about brute force. It's a quiet game played in boardrooms, social circles, and even online. People who understand this hidden language of human nature rise faster and are more resilient than those who rely on just charisma or hard work. Learning to recognize these tactics is your first line of defense. It helps you identify manipulators before they can get their hooks in you. It allows you to protect your plans from sabotage. But more than that, it gives you the tools to gain your own silent authority. To become the person people listen to, not because you are loud, but because your words have weight. This is how you climb without being seen climbing. You will start to notice the signs. A person who remains unnervingly calm under pressure. Someone who rarely feels the need to explain themselves. They make moves without announcements and gain respect without ever asking for it. Their actions are precise, their words are measured, and their influence is undeniable. Think about your workplace. You don't need to win arguments in meetings. You just need to plant the one idea that hour later, the boss presents as their own. In your social life, you don't take sides during conflicts. You remain neutral, gaining the trust of everyone involved. You become the stable center that everyone orbits. These are not just abstract theories. They are real-world applications of silent power. If you want to dive deeper, to understand the psychology behind true influence and control, type "more muck" in the comments. The next level is even darker.